Hello students, welcome to Legacy AIS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about a topic that has been going on in news for actually past 1 year, but it has become a very well-known phenomena on the internet in recent few months. And what we are going to discuss about is the NFT. The full form is Non Fungible Tokens, which is the new internet sensation. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss about that how this particular non-fungible token works, what is the idea behind this, and why it has gained so much wide popularity in such a short span of time. So let us start and delve deeper in this topic. So first of all, though as we discussed, NFTs been in news from past 1 year, recently it has again come in news because a French luxury fashion brand, which is mainly known for making a very high-end or very high quality of bags, that is Hermes. So Hermes actually has sued American digital artist, that is Mason Rothschild, who actually has created an NFT and named it a Meta Birkins, which is a kind of image of a bag, and the design or the idea behind that bag has been taken from the Hermes actual bag. That is, we can see here that if you look at this diagram, so this is actually the Hermes bag, and based on the same idea, Rothschild has created an image of this bag, a digital image of this bag, and that is what the whole idea all behind. The lawsuit has once again brought into sharp focus the ongoing debate of the NFTs, that whether it is beneficial, what is the criticism regarding all these points. We are going to discuss about this. So first of all, you try to understand about this particular story, that what is the whole story behind. So actually Hermes has accused Rothschild of profiteering from the company's trademark Birkin. Birkin is a brand of bag that is released by Hermes, which is a tote bag that was for the first time was introduced by the company in year 1980s. And Hermes has said by taking the idea of creating a digital image from their bag, that is Birkin bag, the Rothschild has involved in trademark infringement and trademark dilution, as well as they have also alleged that Rothschild has been involved in cyber squatting. Now, cyber squatting is something that is when you make something of your or you create something of your own, but the name of that product you take from someone else's product. For example, if we talk about the Hermes bag is called as Birkin bag. So by using the same name, the Rothschild has created the image that is called as Meta Birkin. So that is example of cyber squatting. Trademark infringement, trademark dilution, as you already know, that it is something like Birkin bag is a trademark brand that is belongs to Hermes, and Rothschild have actually infringed the trademark by creating similar kind of bag, though it is just a digital image. However, Rothschild has made this image inspired by titled The Art of Meta Birkins, which is a series of colorful image of tote bags, as we have discussed before. Now, before going into details about what is NFT or how it functions, let us try to understand that what does NFT stand for. So NFT actually is made up of three words, out of which two are together, that is non-fungible, and third word is token. So to understand NFT, we have to understand all these words carefully. What is non-fungible token? So first of all, let us try to understand what do we understand by term fungible. So if I give you example, what is fungible? Fungible like any money or any currency, like for example, dollars, that is the fungible. This jacket that you can buy from any store, from any brand, that is fungible. This book, any kind of book that you are buying from any bookstore, that is fungible. Now, why are we saying that these particular items are fungible? Because these are not unique in themselves. The similar kind of item also exists and can be easily exchanged. To give you more understanding, suppose you have $1 note. Now this $1 note which you possess is not unique. You can exchange it with another $1 note from some other person. Similarly, this jacket which you have bought, similar kind of jacket might have been made by the company and sold all across the world. So you can easily buy this jacket after if you feel that you can again replace or exchange this jacket or change this jacket into another jacket having similar design, similar prices. Similarly, if you buy any book, same book, unless and until you do something on book or you write something on that book, if it is very fresh, you can easily exchange it with another book of the same author. So that is what it means to be fungible. Fungible means it is easily exchanged, easily replaced, and it is not unique in its sense. Now, if we try to understand then what is non-fungible. So non-fungible is something like this. For example, the original painting of Mona Lisa that is painted by Leonardo da Vinci and is placed in French Museum right now. These are non-fungible assets. Why this is non-fungible assets? because this is something that cannot be replaced. This is something that cannot be exchanged, and it is unique in sense because only one copy of such item exists. No matter how good you copy the Mona Lisa or any other artist copy the Mona Lisa, it will not be same because it has not been painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Similarly, in modern day, if you talk about digital art, so this picture you can see is made by computer, and the artist who has created it, he has created it uniquely. Now, this artist or other artist, even if they try to copy it, this will become this will not be a non-fungible. This will be a non-fungible because this cannot be replaced or exchanged. Similarly, we talk about the most recent this we can say news was that the Jack Dorsey, who is the co-founder of Twitter, actually he sold his first tweet. So this tweet, like I'm saying here, just setting up my Twitter. That was the tweet published by him on 21st March 2006. Now this is also non-fungible asset. Why non-fungible? Because it is a tweet that was tweeted by Jack Dorsey on this particular time. Now no matter whoever is tweeting the same tweet again, it will not be similar. So it is unique in its sense. So that is what it means by non-fungible. So I hope you understand the difference between fungible and non-fungible. In simple terms, fungible are something that can be easily exchanged and replaced. Non-fungible simply means that each item is different as opposed to a fungible items which can be exchanged or replaced. So now we have to understand that what is non-fungible token. So non-fungible token is nothing but a unique irreplaceable token that can be used to prove ownership of digital assets such as music, artwork, even tweets and memes. For example, if someone has composed a music and he has put this music on a particular platform, suppose YouTube. Now we know that on YouTube, people can easily copy the same music and can create thousands and thousands of copies of that particular music or that particular artwork. However, by using NFT, it will be irreplaceable token will be issued, and by that the actual ownership of any digital assets can be easily proved. Now this is something new and unique because till now, if we talk about the Mona Lisa painting, it is one single painting painted by Leonardo da Vinci that is placed in the French museum, and we know that the ownership is claimed by that particular museum particularly. But in the digital world, such concept was non-existing. If anyone is publishing any music items, any artwork or any painting, it can be easily copied, and you cannot actually know that who is the actual owner or who is the actual artist who has made it. So that is where the NFT come into picture, and it will be very advantageous for the digital artist. Apart from that, if we talk about each particular token, they are different as opposed to fungible currency. Now, if you try to understand, if suppose you have 10 rupees currency note, you can easily exchange with another 10 rupees currency note with anyone in the world. However, if you have NFT, that NFT is very, very particular in sense that is or that cannot be replaced or that cannot be exchanged with any other item, because each item that is put in digital media or digital domain have a unique signature, unique NFT, and that is what makes it value very much unique. Third point, you try to understand that here comes into picture the cryptocurrencies and bitcoins like Bitcoin and Ethereum, because both NFTs and Bitcoin are on the same run on the same kind of channel, for example blockchain. However, you have to understand that cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are also fungible. That means if you have 10 Bitcoins, you can easily exchange with another 10 Bitcoins, or even if you have one Bitcoin, you can exchange it with the Ethereum and you will have the same value. However, if you talk about non-fungible tokens, they cannot be exchanged for another non-fungible token because two are different and therefore unique in the sense. Now, let us try to understand that why there is a sudden craze for NFT and non-fungible tokens. So first of all, it became very, very popular, though the idea was existing since year 2014. But the NFTs become very popular in 2021 because, as we discussed, it gives a, we can say, facilitate the digital artist and in a convenient way to monetize their work. That means they can create something, put in the digital space, take NFTs for them, and then can sell these their artwork or their art pieces in the value of NFTs. Second, NFTs are a part of new kind of financial system that is also called as decentralized finance. That is very, very important because decentralized finance, we'll discuss about that later what it means, but decentralized finance is example of democratic financial system because it makes access to capital easier for lay people by essentially eliminating the role of banks and other associated institutions. That is a very, very unique point about decentralized finance, that you do not have to go to central institutions like banks or any other kind of financial institutions. It removes the intermediary, or it essentially eliminates the need of intermediary, and where people themselves, it is kind of P2P, we can say people to people cooperation is there, where the whole financial system becomes very, very decentralized and democratic in nature. And the craze of NFTs we can understand from this particular figure that in last 3 months, if we talk about the value of NFTs being exchanged on the internet has rose from $12 million to $340 million. That is almost 20-25 times increase in the value of NFTs being monetized or sold on the internet, on the digital media. Now, as we have discussed that there is a common point between Bitcoins, Ethereum and NFTs that both run on the similar kind of network that is called as blockchain. So let us try to understand the relationship between NFTs and blockchain. So first of all, what is a blockchain? Blockchain is nothing but it is kind of digital public ledger where all the NFT transactions are recorded. That means once you do or once anyone is involved in an NFT transaction, it will be permanently recorded on the digital public ledger which cannot be edited or cannot be erased. Second, as of now, most NFTs are part of the blockchain that is operated by Ethereum. We have two blockchains, one the Bitcoin blockchain and other is on the Ethereum blockchain. So most NFTs, more than 85% of NFTs are currently using the Ethereum blockchain. So now since we have discussed that NFTs are being recorded on the blockchain, let us try to understand that what is the difference between blockchain and centralized financial system. So let us try to understand this by a simple example. Suppose that a transaction is being done by a central financial system. That means you are one person and then you have the second person that is merchant. That means you want to suppose buy something. Let us, for example, we say we are trying to buy a cloth. We are trying to buy a shirt from any particular website, Then how will you complete this transaction? First, you will choose the shirt, obviously. After choosing the shirt, then you will say that I want to buy the shirt, and then the merchant account will give you the option for making a payment. How will you make a payment? Then you will go to the personal account of your bank, in whichever bank your account is. Then there, by using whatever this login password IDs and everything, you will complete the transaction. After that, the money will be transferred to the account of merchant, and the merchant will then ship your cloth back to your place of home or workplace. So that is how centralized financial system work. Here the central financial system is bank who is acting as an intermediary between you who is a customer and between the site owner who is the merchant, and that is how the transaction happens. However, if we talk about blockchain, then it is slightly different. In blockchain, instead of having a central financial institution, we have a decentralized finance. That means lot of servers are there all across the world, and anytime you are doing a transaction on the blockchain, it is recorded simultaneously by everywhere, by all the systems that is present in the world, all the we can say servers that are present on the world. So that is how your record becomes public in nature. In the earlier case, whatever transaction you are doing, it only recorded with the merchant account as well as your bank. But here the whole record is available throughout the network of blockchain. That is the second difference. So basically how it works, suppose that if we try to understand the transaction or blockchain transaction, how it occurs. So here we have the network of blockchain. One party requests a transaction. The requested transactions are funneled into a P2P network and broadcasted to each individual computers or each individual nodes that are a group of computers. Further, each individual nodes receive the request and validate the transaction using an algorithm. That means suppose you are trying to buy $100 worth of merchandise, then each of the nodes and computer will try to find out that whether you have $100 in the Bitcoin account or blockchain account or not. If you have $100, then the transaction will be approved and then it represented as a blocks and added to the public ledger that transaction has been approved. Also, if you do not have any, suppose that you just have $90 in account and you're trying to buy something worth $100, then obviously that transaction will be disapproved. However, that also will be added in the public ledger that this transaction has been disapproved due to lack of sufficient money. And once the block is added to an existing chain, transactions are complete and become permanent in nature, that is immutable, irreversible, and also uneditable. That is how the blockchain works. So here as we can see, the major difference is there is no central financial institutions. All the record are public record, easily available to everyone, and that is why its legitimacy can also be much more higher. However, let's come to the NFTs. So most popular NFTs that has been sold in last 1 year is this one. As you can see, this is the first 5,000 days. It is actually a collage of 5,000 pictures, digital images that were already existing on the internet. And the creator has just taken those images, created a collage, and it has named it as the first 5,000 days. and surprisingly it was sold in very high price of somewhere around $69 million. Similarly, the other popular NFTs that were sold recently in $4 million is of Doge. It was kind of a meme, and this Doge actually was symbol for Dogecoin. Third, there is other art piece that is sold in $29 million, is that is called as Human One. This is also an NFT, and the highest price at which any particular NFTs has been sold in now is this one. This is an art piece that is called as the Merge. It looked like a symbol of, it looked like kind of image of moon, and it is the highest, as you can say, NFTs, price, most expensive NFTs that has been sold in the history as of now. So these are the recent NFTs that has been sold. Now, obviously, the question comes that if NFTs are so good and like it has so much advantages over central financial institutions, and it also gives, we can say, opportunity for digital artists to monetize their work, what are the problems with NFTs, or what are the criticisms with the NFTs? So, three major criticisms are there. First of all, as we discussed, it is regarding copyright infringement. As we discussed in the case of earlier, first example of Rothschild versus the Birkin bag of Hermes. Similarly, what happens in internet, there are a lot of artworks that are already existing. Suppose that any music piece is there that is made by artists and has been uploaded freely on the YouTube or any other such platforms. Now, since it is publicly available, any person can take this music piece, take any artwork, and can do some slight modification and can try to sell it by saying that it is my NFTs. So that is how it can cause a lot of copyright infringement issues. Second, experts also believe that the NFT is a mechanism where it is trying to create value where none exists, and that can lead to burst of economic bubble. For example, if we talk about in the last slide this particular image of a dog, or any particular just collection. For example, at first we discussed about that 5,000 different images that were already existing on the earth has been collected in a collage and sold as a NFT. That means there is no value in what we are doing right now, because the images are already existing, you are just combining all these images. So it is example of creating value where none exists, and you are paying price for something that you should not have, that is freely available on the internet also. For example, recently a video clip of a basketball team, a very popular basketball team, especially LeBron James was there from the USA. His video was sold at a very high price, and the funny thing is that this video is already available in public domain in free on the internet. So actually you are selling the items which are freely available, and that is why the new values are not being created. The third and the most important criticism with the NFT is regarding to the climate change, global warming, which is associated with the greenhouse gas emission. So let us try to understand how NFTs are associated with the greenhouse gas emissions. So simple thing is there that it is believed that when you are creating NFTs, as we have discussed before, NFTs run on something that is called as blockchain. And since blockchain is running all across in millions and millions of servers, millions and millions of computers all across the world, they are generating or they are using very excessive amount of energy. And since they're using very excessive amount of energy, obviously the electricity consumption that is happening, that is electricity is being produced by the fossil fuel. So if someone is consuming more and more energy, more and more electricity, that means more and more fossil fuels are being burned all across the earth. And as we know that if more and more fossil fuels are being burned, that means the amount of greenhouse gases will start to rise in the atmosphere. And this greenhouse gases, as you know, is responsible for global warming as well as for the melting of ice sheets and glacier. And overall, it is also causing a climate change on a macro level or macro regional scale. And this we can understand from this particular this statement given by the Cambridge Bitcoin Electricity Consumption Index, that they have said that the amount of electricity consumed by the Bitcoin network in a single year could satisfy the total electricity needs of Cambridge University for 993 years. So you can understand they don't understand the this kind of consumption, electricity consumption that is happening by the Bitcoin network. So that is the third point, that NFT, if more and more NFTs are being utilized, more and more NFTs are being made on the internet and being continuously sold through the blockchain network, this consumption will keep on growing higher and higher. That can be associated with the increase in the emission of greenhouse gases. So that is all about the issues regarding NFTs, why it has become popular, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and also we try to discuss about the brief idea regarding blockchain network and how it works. So I hope this video has been useful for you. If you like this, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.